Dear student, myself Rajendra Asiri, I am Assistant Professor in Computer Science Department at Government Bangat PG College, Didwana. We have started a lecture series on database and management system, and up to this point we covered about 18 to 19 lecture related to database and management system concept. In the just previous lecture, we discussed about referential integrity and how to set a primary key and foreign key constraint in a relation while creating a relation or while creating a table. Okay. Now in today's lecture, so up to this point, first going in detail about today's lecture. Up to this point, we discussed about data definition language. In that language, we discussed about various commands, various SQL commands related to data definition, like dropping a table, altering a table, and creating a table. All these things we discussed about data definition. Then after that, the basic query structure, select from and where clause, then order by, group by clause. After that, we discussed about aggregate functions, various set operations. We discussed null values, the significance of using the null value in SQL. All these concepts we discussed. And then we discussed about the nested query, how to make a complex query simpler with help of nested query, then how to create a view, how to update the view, and modification of the database. Now in today's lecture, some new concept about database. First is assertion, second we will discuss about authorization, and third is how to set privilege in a SQL database. Okay. So back to the first topic, that is assertion. Now first thing you should know what is assertion, how we can implement this concept in SQL, what are the query statement we need to write down in order to implement assertion statement. Okay, so first, assertion. An assertion is a predicate expressing a condition that we wish the database always to satisfy. If you notice here, it is basically a predicate. Predicate means a condition which we wish from the database that should be always satisfied. Means in every condition, every, we can say, every step or every instance, a particular condition need to satisfy, then that condition will be called as assertion, right? And assertion in SQL takes the form, how to create. So for creating, the command is create assertion. As it is, we need to write down a keyword, after that the name of the assertion, then check keyword or check command, and in bracket or here we need to write down what, predicate or condition. So create assertion, name of the assertion, any name we can take, give to the assertion. After that, check command, and then the condition, actual condition which we want to satisfy in every condition, right? When an assertion is made, the system test it for validity and test it again on every update that may violate the assertion. So at every step, the system will test the validity of the assertion. Okay. Now this testing may introduce a significant amount of overhead, hence assertions should be used with great care. Okay. Now one more example, asserting for all x, comma, after that we can write down p of x, that is predicate. It is achieved in a roundabout fashion using not exist x such that not of p of x. Okay, so either we can write down for all x, comma, p of x, or not exist x such that not of the p of x. So in this manner we can implement the assertion, and this assertion will be ensured by for the system in every state in order to satisfy the assertion. One example is listed here. Suppose query is given, every loan has at least one borrower who maintain an account with a minimum balance of $1,000. So the condition is here that in every condition $1,000 minimum balance should be maintained. So how to write down? So step by step we are learning. First we need to create the adjacent. So how to create adjacent? With the help of create adjacent command, create adjacent, and the name I have used here is balance underscore constraint. Okay, so name of the adjacent is balance underscore constraint. Then check command, and in check command we are writing in the open bracket not exist, and then the SQL query state select star from loan. Select star means for all the tuple we are making this adjustment from which relation, because these are the information related to loan, so from loan relation, right? Where not exist, again here not exist, and subquery is written. Now in the subquery where not exist, again the subquery, and in subquery select star from borrower, because we require borrower information as well as depositor information and some information from account, where loan number is common in loan relation and borrower relation. That's why loan dot loan number is equal to borrower dot loan number, first condition. And borrower dot customer name is equal to depositor dot customer name, this condition also need to satisfy to remove the duplicacy. And depositor dot account number should be equal to account dot account number. And the main condition is account dot balance should be either greater than or equal to 1000. So these all conditions are met, then the adjustment will be set accordingly. Okay. Next is authorization. Authorization means uh, giving the permission or restricting the permission to a particular user. Okay, so authorization means forms of authorization on parts of the database. It can be of different type of permissions. First is read. It will allow reading but not modification of the database. So if we give only the read authorization, then it will allow only reading, it will not allow modification of the database, means we cannot insert, delete or update. Next is insert. It will allow insertion of new data but not modification of the existing data. Means we cannot update any entry, any tuple or any attribute in the database. We can just insert new data. Next is update. It will allow the modification, means we can change the values of some attribute or domain value or tuple values. It allows the modification but not deletion of data. Updation doesn't mean that we can delete the data. So in update we can only insert or change the value. Okay. Delete, it allows the deletion only. So there are four types of authorization. First is read, which allows only reading. Insert allows only inserting, not modification. Update, which will allow the modification, changing the data database, but doesn't allow the deletion. And in delete, we allow only deletion of the data. Now, forms of authorization to modify the database schema. Various forms are there to modify. First is index. It will allow creation and deletion of indexes, right? Next is resources. It will allow creation of new relations. Okay, if you want to create new relation, new table, then resources authorization is required. Okay. Next is alteration. If we want to add or delete some attribute in a relation, then alteration is very important, and for doing the alteration we use alter table or alter table and attribute command. Then after that drop command is there, it will allow deletion of the relation. Okay, so there are various forms of authorization to modify. To modify index, again I am explaining index, resources, alteration and a drop. Next is, if we want to specify authorization in SQL, then what type of command we need to use? So first, the grant statement is used to confer the authorization. How to write down? Grant command, and after that privilege list. On what? On relation name or view name to which particular user, so user list. So again I am explaining, grant command is used, privilege list means what type of permissions we want to give, authorization we want to give. After that, on which relation or view, and to whom, to which type of user. Okay. Now user list is a user ID. It can be public, which allows all valid users the privilege granted. A role, and granting a privilege on a view does not imply granting any privilege on the underlying relation. View is something different because view deals with only, we can say, view level only, at the abstract level only. Okay. And relation is dealt with the logical level, logical schema. So the grantor of the privilege must already hold the privilege on the specified item or be the database administrator. So it is up to the DBA, database administrator, to granting the privilege or permissions. Okay. Now privileges types. Privileges in SQL. So suppose we are writing select command. Select command will allow read access to a relation or the ability to query using the view. Okay. Suppose I am writing example, grant users u1, u2 and u3. I want to grant the permission to these users. So grant users u1, u2 and u3. Select authorization on the branch relation. If we want to do this, then how to implement with help of SQL query? Grant select on which relation, branch 2, u1, u2 and u3. If we want to give grant permission to the u1, u2 and u3 user with help of select command and to the relation branch, then how to write down? Grant, then select operation, select on which relation, on relation name branch 2 to the users. So here the users are u1 comma u2 comma u3, three users are there. Now next is insert, the ability to insert the tuples. The ability to insert the tuples. Update, the ability to update using the SQL update statement. Delete, the ability to delete the tuples. And all privileges used as a short form for all the allowable privileges. Okay. So insert command, ability to insert the tuple. Update, the ability to update using the SQL update statement. Delete, ability to delete the tuple. All privilege, it will be used as a short form for all the allowable privileges. Now revoking the authorization in SQL. Suppose once we have given the authorization and we want to take it back. Authorization want to remove or take back the authorization. It is called as revoke authorization. To revoke, we used a revoke statement which is used to revoke the authorization. How to write down? Revoke, and after that privilege list. On which relations, on relation name or view name, from which users, user list. Okay. So again I am explaining revoke, what type of permission we are given, all the privilege list, on which relation we are given, name of the relation, view name, and from which type of users we want, from user list. Okay. Example is given. Suppose in the previous example we have given the permission to the u1, u2 and u3. If we want to revoke, then how to write down? Revoke select, in the select clause we have given the permission. So revoke select, on which relation, branch relation we have given the permission, from. Now we have to take it back. In the previous case, at place of from, we were writing to. If you see, at place of we are writing to because we are granting the permission, and in this case now we are just revoking. It means from, revoking means from whom we are revoking, from the users. So revoke select on which relation, branch relation, and from whom, u1, u2 and u3 users. Okay. The privilege list may be all. To revoke all the privileges the revoke may hold, or revoke list include public. All users lose the privilege except those granted it explicitly. Okay. If the same privilege uh, was granted twice to the same user by different grantee, the user may retain the privilege after the revocation. Means if more than one grantee is giving a permission, has given a permission or granted a permission to the user u1 suppose, and we are taking revoking with the help of only one grantee, then another grantee is still granted the permission to the u1. It is not revoked yet. Okay. So it is the point. If the same privilege was granted twice to the same user by different grantee, the user may retain the privilege after the revocation. And all privileges that depend on the privilege being revoked are also revoked. So that's all from this lecture. Next lecture, some new concept we will be learning. Thank you.